Hi, Mike and Jennifer here. We're going to talk about this current market and how difficult it is to buy and solutions. It takes a lot of creativity now to be able to afford a home, afford your first home, afford your step up home, afford your forever home, however you're working through it. It takes more creativity today than it has in the past. One of the things we wanted to talk about that Jennifer wanted to share with us is a house she purchased and maybe why she purchased this one and how it turned into a pretty good deal.
Yeah, so one of my philosophies is to try and buy the ugliest house in the neighborhood. So we found this house which was perfect for us, but it was really ugly. I mean, it looks better than we actually saw it. It was really ugly when we
So
actually
in
saw it.
person, it's
Yeah.
uglier. The photos actually make it look better
Yes,
somehow.
exactly. So it was in 2020, just before COVID, and we found this house. It's been sitting in the market for quite a while, and nobody really wanted it. You should see the inside. You want to click through?
Yeah, let's. So this is the outside, obviously, and then kitchen.
So yeah, pretty hideous, but we saw the potential. I would say to people who are looking to buy, especially first-time home buyers, don't worry about the cosmetic things. As long as it's structurally sound and in a decent location, um, you know, you can do a lot with the house. So then we did quite a lot of work in there. That's the after.
And then the big change is this one. Ta-da.
Yeah, it also helps if you can do most of the work yourself and if you have a handy husband, which I have. But anyway, we did pretty well on this and it has appreciated quite a lot. Average like
What
nine,
if you
yeah,
per year, like roughly average appreciation? What are you guys getting?
about 9%
Okay,
roughly.
okay.
We did put in quite a lot of work and we did a lot of improvements. So you do have to have some cash to set aside to do all those things. But if you can live with laminate countertops, you should do that until you can afford. Just do the basic and the necessary first, the important things, and then the cosmetic stuff can come later.
Yeah, I think one of the things that are, when you and I talk with people who haven't owned a home yet, it's difficult for someone who's never owned a home to realize everything wears out. The paint wears out, the floors wear out, the counters wear out, the appliances wear out. So everything kind of has a shelf life. And so our job is to find the ones, if we're trying to get the best deal, that everything's worn out and then replace it with something that's also going to wear out. It doesn't have to be a forever finish. It just has to be something that'll be nice enough for the next decade, because that's pretty much all you're going to be in it anyway. Is a decade,
Right. It's
decade
like
homes.
this is probably not your forever home. So it's just a next step can be a better home, but just get in the market fast now, as soon as you can.
So your strategy is the house that nobody else wants, the house long on the market,
Yes.
something that probably needs cosmetic refinishes, but is structurally in good condition.
Yes. And then the layout is decent also because you can't change those things. You can't change the location, you can't change the layout. You can't it's hard to change the structure. But any other things you can always change.
One strategy for this tough market. There it is. All right, Mike and Kendall here. Kind of another version of the story we just shared. This is a tough market for all buyers of all different price ranges, all different life phases, and so it's hard to buy. And we just want to recognize that. And so one of the solutions is to have people in your house.
We had a client who bought. His monthly mortgage payment is $3,800 a month. He found a roommate, and his roommate pays $1,200 a month. And that really helps make it affordable for him. And he owns a house and isn't paying rent and renting this house from someone else.
So finding a roommate, I think that to me sounds awkward, right? Like I can envision my life the way it is. It's hard for me to picture a life with some other random person in my house. What's that like for them?
They love it. They have ended up really enjoying having each other there. They shop for groceries together. They split grocery bills. Makes that a little bit more affordable. They cook dinner together. So when it's just you, it makes it nice to have someone else.
So they manage their house just like two adult people. There's a house that's getting managed. They both have their own lives, but the house kind of runs like a house. That's a pretty cool
It's
solution.
working great for them.
So one more solution, right? One more thing that we can do as buyers to try to get us into an affordable place to own. Obviously, we think ownership is very important, not because we sell houses. We sell houses because we think ownership's important. It's the other way around. People benefit when they're taking an expense they already have, which is housing, and they're turning that housing expense into an investment as well. Is it the best investment on the planet? I don't know. Is it something that you have to spend on anyway? Yes. So this is a great way to then have someone else helping to pay your mortgage. You're paying your mortgage. Rent's not going up. It makes you an owner instead of a renter, and we think that's super important. All right, so as we're still talking about how difficult the market is, right? So money is really expensive to buy, and homes are expensive to buy, and how do we get in? This is more of how do I get in? Like, how do I do that very first step? And so we've talked about sharing houses with having renters move in with us. We've talked about buying, kind of the ugly duckling in a great neighborhood. Let's look at just basic housing, like what's available at the bottom. And so we're gonna look at these first, because these guys come with a $75,000 down payment. So maybe there's a program out there that's like, hey, I could buy a brand new duplex and I can get a gigantic, roughly 15% down payment given to me with the house. Special program, special house. That's an option. So let's look in that bucket. Is there anything out there that has helped to get me into a house? Then let's look at what does just the market offer us, right? Sorry, let me close that. So what does the market offer us? So here we are over in Greeley, 2 beds, 2 baths, 936 square feet. And that's gonna cost, that one says $1,422. The actual digits on that one are $2,000 a month with 5% down. So I dropped it down payment down to 5% because I'm thinking, shoot, if I'm trying to get into the market, I don't have a big stack of money, so I don't have 20% down. And so it'll cost me $2,000 a month. What do I get for that? Well, I get 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I don't have exterior maintenance. I don't have to take care of my roof. When exterior things break, somebody else is paying for those. If the building's heat goes away, well, my HOA that I've been paying for all this time is gonna fix that for me. So for $2,000 a month, I get very little risk. I just have the inside to take care of, and I have a cool house to live in. Let's say we're just not condo people. We're like, no, I need a single family house. Okay, so here's one for $230,000, 2 beds, 1 bath, 750 square feet. And so this one is $1,785 a month. That says $1,108 again. I dropped the down payment from 20% down to 5% down, and that gets us to $1,785 a month. So for $1,785 a month, we're in our own single family house, and I don't know what picture I started on here. Now the outside's not adorable. It's fine, but there's our outside. So when we move in, we're gonna have a few projects to do. We're gonna have exterior maintenance to take care of. We may not be in the space that we're like, this is where I've always dreamed of, but I'm in the market and I have a cool house that I can turn into whatever I want to turn it into over time. And so as we continue to look at the difficulty that we have in this market, there's a lot of ways in. There's a lot of ways to get into the market. We're here always as a team to help you find out a solution that'll fit you. There's lots of solutions. We covered 4 quick ones. There's a ton of other ones. So if you want to talk about how do I get into a house? How do I get into my next house? How do I stretch for that? How do I find something really comfortable I don't have to stretch for? Reach out. We'll talk with you. We'll take your situation and we'll find a solution that helps meet your situation. And then you can assess, do I want to do that or not? It's a pretty good process to go through, and there's no risk for it. It's just a conversation with us to see, does this work for me? So reach out. We're happy to help you.